Right guys, welcome to a brand new video, and I'm going to be talking about the Premier League. You can see in the title, the most open season yet. Yes, it's a question, and I want you guys throughout this video to be leaving comments. Tell me what you think. I've got 2 episodes of career mode going up tomorrow, and the reason I'm doing this now is just because of the weekend's results. It's really, I've got a lot of thoughts going through my head every weekend, and this weekend there's just so many things going through my head. I wanted to talk about them. So it could be quite a long video. We're going to be discussing, the top 6 clubs, or just the clubs that will be in the top 6 probably by the end of the season. We'll be talking about the managers, the form of the clubs, why there are struggling clubs, why there are players doing well. Anything that involves the Premier League and how it's going to be an open season is what we're going to be discussing in this video. And do leave your comments, because I will spend time this evening reading through them, and maybe you'll get a reply, who knows. It'll be interesting to see your guys' thoughts as well, though, not just mine, because for me, I think this season is probably the most open season in recent history. I can't remember since I was born in '93. Obviously, I didn't really watch the Premier League until maybe '98, '99 when I was slightly older. But I can't remember a season being so open at the start. Now, one thing I want to make sure I set clear is I know we're only 6 games in. I know it's early days. We're not even a third of the way in. Listening to Roberto Martinez on Match of the Day last night, he was saying, you know what, you can't even pass judgment before you've even made it to a third. And you know what, I kind of agree. But what you can do is your first impressions, like, the early judgment, I guess. So what I'm going to be saying in this video might not stick. Of course it might not. It might completely change. So, to start off with, why is it the most open season yet? So I'm just thinking right now, the top 6 clubs have all dropped points. Tottenham have been dropping points a little bit. They've been doing really well, but they have dropped points. They lost to Arsenal, they drew to Chelsea, right? They've barely been conceding, yes, but they haven't scored too many either. You then got, obviously, Manchester United, who we all know are going through a bit of a tough time right now. They're dropping points. You've got Arsenal, who lost to Aston Villa, obviously have won every game since then. Could say Arsenal and Tottenham are, the most informed top 6 at the moment. Chelsea dropping points, not just in the Premier League, but outside of the Premier League as well. Liverpool had a really strong start, bit of a wobble in midweek against Man United, and obviously in the game before at the weekend. But they seem to be doing okay right now against Sunderland, although they've just scored and they're kind of get back in the game there. And City, of course, had a great, they've had a really up and down beginning, haven't they? Beating Man United 4-1 and then losing to Villa 3-2. You could argue they had Villa, they really did. They just lost it in the space of 2 minutes, So that's what I think is the main reason to this season seeming so open. And when I say open, I mean any club can get to the number 1 spot at the moment. It's just, I think it's going to change so much. I don't see Arsenal there the whole season. I think it's going to change around. What else is making it an open season? And this is probably one of the biggest points, and it's the fact that there's so many new managers, there's so many new players, new staff. The clubs feel kind of like no one's gelled, and the only clubs that are really doing well at the moment seem to be the clubs that have kept the same kind of team management, the same club staff. You look at Arsenal, obviously we've still got Wenger. We only brought in Ozil, Flamini, Sonogo. There's not too many changes, right? You look at Tottenham, you could say they've brought in so many players, but all of the staff are the same. AVB knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy, and the team is starting to bond. And I am dreading when it gets towards Christmas, when these players they've brought in are really, really a good team and gelling really well. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And then you look at Chelsea, who've been struggling. They've brought Mourinho in. They've brought a lot of players that have pushed out players that have been a vital part of Chelsea's success in the last kind of couple of years. You look at Mata. I mean, where is he? It's just unbelievable. You've got Liverpool, who have made some great changes. I'm not going to deny that. They looked even better without Suarez. I don't know what you guys think about that. But I do think Liverpool are, doing well, mainly because Brendan Rodgers has had his time to gel with the squad. He's got to know the players, the staff, and he's starting to really get that train moving, if you know what I mean. And then City, like I said, very up and down. When they're playing well, they are unstoppable. I think, to be honest, guys, they're probably the best team in the league when they're in form. You looked at them destroying Man United. Man United looked like a bottom half team. No, there's no denying it. It was an absolute off day for Man United and an absolutely on day for Man City. But they've had also some issues. They've obviously brought in a lot of talent. And obviously Pellegrini's walked in, and he's got a lot of individuals, I want to say, with big egos to deal with. It's the same at Chelsea. It's the same at Man United. So let's talk about them individually, because I've asked on Twitter what you guys want me to talk about, and mostly what came up was why Man United aren't doing too well at the moment, why Arsenal are doing so well, and people want me to predict how things will go. So let's start off with Man United. I know you probably clicked this video thinking I'm just going to waffle on about Arsenal, but I'll get onto them later. There's no rush. So Man United, they are struggling. They haven't scored an open play goal in the Premier League since the game at Swansea at the beginning of the season. That is not Manchester United. Surely not. I mean, that's just inconceivable, right? They've only picked up 7 points from 6 games, which is their worst, I think, in, 2 decades or something, which is embarrassing. But what I want to say right now, if you're listening and you're a United fan, you're angry, you're disappointed with the team, just relax. Look at all the other teams in the Premier League. They've all had dips. Arsenal, I would say, are coming out of a horrible dip over the summer where all the fans were getting angry. Well, it's not just angry, it's frustration, isn't it? You want your team to do well no matter what. Arsenal have been through that over the summer, and especially after the Villa game, a lot of fans were struggling. They really were to get behind this team. And I think it's obviously not the same kind of situation as United, but you will bounce back. Manchester United will not fall out of the top 4, if you ask me. They will be in the top 4 this year, or this season, I should say. They will get into the Champions League. What I think we're seeing is that transitional period. You've got a new manager who... I don't want to put Moyes down, but he's no Sir Alex Ferguson. Okay, last season, Man United won the league with the exact same squad, playing badly. You know, they would win games when playing absolutely ridiculously bad. You would watch it and just think, how is this team winning the Premiership? It didn't make sense. I saw United fans agreeing with me on Twitter. And the real reason behind it, if you ask me, was Sir Alex Ferguson. He had that aura about him. He motivated that team. You know, if you performed badly, he would look at you with disappointment. You wouldn't play the next week. With Moyes, you just need to settle down, let the players, begin to understand what Moyes wants of them, to gain their respect as players as well. Moyes needs time. And what you'll find is probably, over the next few seasons, Man United will not be as successful as they have been. But let's be honest, if you look down in the history of all the football clubs in the world, you can't be successful the whole time because you can't have the same ethos, you can't have the same staff forever. As soon as Sir Alex Ferguson retired, I knew that Man United will have a tough time this season and probably next season as well. So what I want to say, guys, is United are still an incredible team. They are one of the biggest clubs in the world, there's no doubt about it. Arguably the biggest club in the Premier League. They will bounce back. They will not be 12th by the end of the season, trust me. They'll start picking up results. Moyes will get a bit of confidence. You've had quite a tough start in the Premier League, fixture-wise, although you could argue the games that you have lost. West Brom, you shouldn't be losing to West Brom at home, that's for sure. In January, when you bring in some players, you're looking at Ferdinand, obviously getting very old now. He looks like he can barely run. So imagine bringing in a new centre-back to partner with Vidic. Bring in another midfielder, I think that would help. And play Kagawa. That's the main problem I've got here. Why is Kagawa not playing? I don't know how you could quite work him into the team, but I was even thinking of having Kagawa and Rooney kind of in front of the midfield with Van Persie up front in his own. That could kind of work maybe. So yeah, that's my thoughts on United. Let's talk about Arsenal briefly. I don't want to go on too long. Arsenal have obviously hit some insane form right now. I think it's mainly down to the fact that we've had a real bounce back, and when those things happen, if it's a really good bounce back, from an awful to a really good, there's just elation. There's lots of adrenaline within the team. It feels like we are just unstoppable at the moment. You look at players like Ramsey, who, to me, it looks like a different person from last season. I won't deny it. I was slagging off Ramsey last year, but you know what? He deserved it. He was ridiculously bad. Well, I can't say deserved it. What I'm trying to say is he warranted criticism for not playing well, but it wasn't his fault in a way. He's getting back from his injury, and I think he's just finally, started to really recover, and we're seeing what we would have seen had he not been injured. You're looking at the way we can rotate our midfield. Flamini was actually one of the best signings, I think, of the summer, for free as well, which is unbelievable. Obviously, we were a little bit disappointed when we heard about it because we wanted a big signing. But what you get with Flamini is priceless. You've got experience. He shouts at the players. He's barking orders the whole game, and he like someone on Twitter said, I think it was Jeff Arsenal, just said he's got like a great nose. He sniffs out any danger and he mops it up, and the defence feel a lot more at ease when he's playing. So maybe that's what we needed. You know, maybe not Flamini in his exact form, but someone like that in the future could come in and really help out. Obviously, we've had Walcott out, but we have had Gnabry, or Gnabry, however you want to say his name, come into the team. He got his debut goal against Swansea, not his debut goal, but his first Arsenal goal, which was good to see. Giroud's had a good start to the season, but I think the real reason Arsenal are doing so well at the moment is just momentum. It's the way we've kept everything's the same as last season. You know, after 20 games, we've won 17 now. 10 straight away wins. That's just incredible. You don't see that these days. And I think a lot of credit's got to go to Wenger. And I was almost tempted to make a video called Sorry Wenger, because I've never said Wenger out. I want to say I have never ever said Wenger has to go. But what I did say last season was, if we don't reach top 4, you know, last season, then he's got to go, because obviously we can't not have the Champions League. If we didn't make it into the top 4, so thank you Spurs for letting us, Wenger would have never been able to attract Ozil. It's as simple as that, and having the addition of Ozil into the squad is another reason we're doing well, if you ask me. We just have that confidence, you know. Tottenham, like I said, Tottenham are going to be a really strong team in the future. You're looking at, you know, how much investment they've made into this team, and when those players gel, I'm actually quite nervous. I have got a feeling that we're going to be looking at a new top 4 in the next few seasons, and I've said it on Twitter. I think the new top 4 in the next few seasons is going to be Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, and City. I think that's how it's going to work out. Talking of Chelsea, they look okay. You know, I don't think there's any crisis there. Mourinho's just come back. He's got a completely different team to the one that he built when they were successful a couple of years ago. So you need to give him time as well, and play Mata. It's as simple as that. If you play Mata, you're going to be, you know, golden, aren't you? Liverpool, as they're playing now, they're looking good. They've had a good start to this season. They definitely look more top 4 contenders, and if they can make it into the top 6, I think that's an amazing achievement, because they have been struggling. I think personally they will make it into the top 6 this season. Man City, up and down, they're still looking good to me. Like the Villa game, it's not like they played badly. They did play well. They just had 3 awful mistakes and conceded 3 goals. That's football sometimes. I think they'll bounce back from that. You don't beat Man United 4-1 and not be a good team, right? You have to have something special there. And with the money they've got at their disposal, you can't write them off. Man City will be there at the end of the season, there's no doubt. But the video's dragging on a little bit now, so let's get on into my predictions. So it's very early days. I don't want to say anything in cement. What I will say though is I think what we're talking about in this video is exactly who will be there at the end. I think the top 6 will be United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool and City. If you didn't hear that because I went too quickly, I'm sorry. It's Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool and Man City. I think that will be the top 6. I'm not going to go ahead and predict the running order, but what I will say is Manchester United are not going to win the league this year. They're just not. And I'll be realistic. I don't think Arsenal will either, and I don't think Tottenham will. I think in the end of the season, once every team has picked up their real pace, I think you're looking at a Man City or a Chelsea top 2, maybe with Arsenal and Tottenham in 3rd and 4th. That's what I think. Man United, I've said they will probably make it into the top 4, but they need to start winning now. And I mean now, because there's going to be a gap forming if they don't, and they'd be lucky to reach 5th if they don't start winning now. So Moyes, you've got to get on with this job. You've got to get some of that confidence brewing, bring in a player or 2 in January, and I think you'll be okay. So United fans, calm down. It's okay. Everyone is allowed to have dips in their career. Every team will have dips. There's no doubt in my mind that Man City are going to have a dip in the next 10 years where they won't win the league or win any trophies. And, you know, look at Arsenal with the building of the Emirates. We've had a dip. We haven't won anything in 8 years. That is awful. You know, it's not Arsenal, is it? So that's the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning, 2 episodes of Career Mode will be going up tomorrow. So I hope you're looking forward to that. And I've also got lots more Career Mode guide videos and the beginning of my Ultimate Team series, which I'm so excited to bring to you. I'll give you a little hint. Korea. Yeah, you think career mode? Yeah, I'll just let you think about it in your brains. And on my second channel, don't forget to subscribe. The link is in the description. Lots more Grand Theft Auto 5 videos going up this week as well. But thank you for watching, guys. Please do leave a like on this one. And that's 15 minutes of chatting about the Premier League. It will be the most open season.